Hey Taurus, thought I would do something different for this winter solstice reading, and I've pulled out 3 decks that I use. I have the tarot here as well, my tattoo tarot, but I pulled out 3 oracle decks that I have gone looking for. They're created by an Aboriginal Australian healer named Mel Brown. And I went looking for Aboriginal cards. I've gone looking, I have African. I'm still looking for an Orisha's deck that I want. I have Kali here on the table from India, her Indian incarnation. She has visited me in my home just over a year ago. Scared the shit out of me. I didn't realize it was her at first. Kuan Yin, Wild Kuan Yin is another deck I have, which I also love. The Sibyl's Oraculum. The Delphi Oracle was always an African prophetess. I have that deck. I'll use that at some point in these. I've used these in personal readings. One of the reasons I love these, I love the energy from them. They're familiar to me. Even though they're Australian, I live in Manitoba, in Canada, on Anishinaabe land, and beadwork is a prevalent art style where I live. And so to see these bead motifs in these cards is very familiar energy to me. And I think it's very important for me. I've had personal experiences, of course, living where I live. I have friendships, but I do have my own personal experiences with Mother Earth energy, as we all do, I'm sure, but this particular aspect. So what I'm going to do, Taurus, is I'm going to ask for a card from each deck. I'm going to lay them up here, get their energy flowing. We'll go to tarot, get the tarot details, and then we'll tie it all together. I'll read out the meanings at the end from these books. This is the chakras, so of course whichever body part, if you prefer, that they want you to pay, or she wants you to pay attention to. Ancestors are involved in this as well, of course. The healing oracle. This deals with past, present, and future energies, so whichever card comes out will tell us which of those we're dealing with. And the Dreamtime Oracle are stories that were related to Mel, told to her by her ancestral guides in dreams to her, which is part of their tradition. Okay? So let's find out. I'm going to pack these to the side, get them ready. And so far they've been packing quite a punch. Cancer's read had me crying quite hard. So let's see how you are doing, Taurus, at this winter solstice. Let's see. And truly the sun is just entering Sagittarius now. The sun is behind the season. So we're just entering Capricorn season, but the sun is just entering Sagittarius. All right. Which part of the body? Maybe more than one. Okay, it comes flying. It comes flying. I like that. Okay, your third eye energy. Your psychic energy, Taurus. Magical dreaming. Magical dreaming. Okay. Well, lucid dreams in particular. Now, past, present, or future. Has this dream already come, or is it coming? Or does this dream deal with past, present, or future? Future. Blue is future. What kind? Integrity. Janali, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Integrity. Okay. Ooh, we have the 33 right there, which is a 6. My life path number is 6. Okay, so if we're talking about magical dreaming, then what possible dream time oracle? Two. Okay. A bit of reading waiting for us. But I'll keep the tarot. Well, see, you know what? Very interesting. These came out last night. But I do have the purple repeated. And if it's meant to come out, it's meant to come out. What I'll do is, because those two both came out, I'm spooked. I'm spooked. The deck is spooking me. Let's just ask for the third one. And they might. They know I'm second guessing, but okay. Thank you. Seasons change. Oh, and I was just talking about the change. I was just talking about. Okay. All right. I'll return to those. Taurus. Pull this out a bit, and then they can rest a bit better. Okay. So, as for tarot, I've shuffled these already for time's sake. Oh, well, that's a clear jump, isn't it? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, Ace of Cups reversed. So spiritually drained. Well, that speaks directly to that cockatiel card, which I've read at least twice already. You're not the only one who's spiritually drained right now. And it has everything to do, I'm sure, with the sun entering Sagittarius, the house of faith. An opportunity, maybe leading us back to the Ten of Cups. Oh, flying, flying, flying. No confusion here. So Five of Swords. Necessary action that was harsh, but it's in reverse, leading us back to the Four of Swords. So perhaps we're avoiding it. What comes after 5 is 6, which is a gift. As far as I'm concerned, it's a gift from the universe or God, guides, ancestors. gift of insight, knowledge, revelation, or connections, communication, a new way of speaking, something like that, that leads to transformation in the 7. All on the singular path of developing, right? Your path of Ace to 10. But here we have psychic connection in reverse as well. And if we go back to the 4 of Swords, the 4s are pause buttons, they're squares, they're boxes to me. Yes, there's stability there, but there's inaction. There's like completely... And the fridge comes on. Hang on, I'll turn it off. Inaction. And I'm thinking if we're in 5 energy, but reverse, and we're leaning towards 4 of inaction, then it's inevitable to get back through the 5 to reach the 6, as far as I'm concerned. Why number things if it's not a process? Okay. They're just like fish. That's what they're called. Oh. 5, half of 10. Not dead yet. Will return. Turning over a new page. Turning over a new leaf. Entering the Ace of Swords, which is the truth, God's finger. Finger of God, I should say, maybe more eloquently. So obviously, problems with people. With who? This is High Priestess energy as far as I'm concerned. High Priestess is also Empress. She's just manifesting them. I probably had those cards in the way of your viewing. Okay, so Justice, Libra energy. And I had just asked who. And we have the Ace of Cups reversed. So there's possibly a conflict between you and God. You and Venus. Divine. Possibly an issue. This deck switches out Justice with Strength in numerically. So this is the 8. I'd also see the Strength card, the female in the Strength card, as High Priestess energy, because it's lunar energy contending with solar energy of the Lion. So it's interesting that we have, okay, so this is, and the 8 is Strength. And she's carrying the Sword of Truth. She's holding the Sword of Truth. This is divine timing. She has her will. This is High Priestess energy taking action. Not just communicating, not just knowing, not just holding sacred knowledge, but acting on judgment of what's right or wrong. So perhaps something and you're possibly in disagreement with her. That would be a refusal. Or all it's a 4. Just like I'm saying, the 5 of Swords reversing to 4 is reversing to a pause button of inaction. And And this is speaking to spiritual connection, possibly. You know, that hand of God, handing the fourth cup, offering the fourth cup. That stability, that context. You know, the solidification. We've gone past the 3. 3 is manifesting, putting into being, from thought, from plan, yeah. This is leading back to the 3 of Cups. So there could be a third party. There's definitely a conflict amongst people because we have 5 of Swords here. And betrayal of 10 of Swords. Let's get one more card. There's a lot of symmetry here. Jeez. Popping, flying, 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 flying. Okay, so that 6 of Swords that I was talking about, that gift, that revelation. Of happiness. Brings happiness. That gift, was it turned down? Well, the 4 of Cups is in reverse. Definitely in our head. And it's charted. It's charted because clearly a transformation is required, because the 6 is going to lead to the 7, and we're turning over a new page. There's the death of Swords. There's a death of perception, or just absolute betrayal. But possibly, I'm not sure that I'm seeing betrayal. Well, there could be betrayals, but I'm not seeing that the conflict is necessarily with the people who betrayed you, but with your idea of God, your idea of the universe. That's what I'm sensing. That that people have come between you and God, because there have been so many betrayals. Possibly. And this offer of connection, which would be also including guides, ancestors, possibly wondering who you're connecting with. And so this 6 is suspended. The 6 is in reverse. This revelation isn't coming through yet, because this has to be sorted. She's taken action. She is taking action. She's intervening. And maybe you can't recognize that it's intervention from her. Just like I was saying, I didn't realize it was Kali in my room at first, and I actually thought it was a demon. And I wondered how the hell I deal a lot with malevolent, bad energies. I'm one of those people that seem to have been brought in to do that. I'm also Scorpio rising, but and my 10th house is in Libra injustice primarily. So but I'm wondering, I'm wondering if you're not sure who you're in contact with. Because how have you been helped if the betrayals come when you're under spiritual attack for being on your path. So I think this is waiting to be clarified by the oracles. So let's get into them, because this is all psychic. Yes? Okay. And Kali came to me in a lucid dream. So lucid, I wrote it all down as soon as I woke up. I texted it all to my best friend. And she, when I texted it to her, she had been busy puking her guts out at the same time. So we have it all. And there were things that were shown to me in it that came to pass. And they might have been happening at the time, but I didn't find out what they were until about 6 to 9 months later. I've had many, many, many dreams where significant things have been communicated to me. Dreaming is the path in which we travel during our journey in this and past lifetimes. Often our dreaming may follow a similar track, lifetime after lifetime, in different bodies, in different countries, but still covering familiar territory. Yes, I've read this, lunchbox.com. There's somebody who is keeping track of their interdimensional travels, and they've had the same dream of landing on a turntable, on a record, on the same spot. And I have clients that have repeat dreams. And it's all to do with interdimensional traveling and repeat lives. Having the courage to travel tracks less traveled, to travel tracks less traveled, is what our dreaming is really about. Allowing your soul to have different experiences is the way in which we grow emotionally and spiritually. Without new experiences, our souls will continue on the same dreaming over and over again. In Aboriginal culture, our dreaming marks the tracks in which we travel from season to season, changing seasons, to find food and attend ceremony. Over time, Mother Earth insists we make changes to our dreaming, Mother Earth, and presents us with drought, flood, and fire, and blocks the direction of our journey, preventing us from moving forward. Justice. That all describes her version of justice. Like the changes in our ancient dreaming, we need to learn to adapt to what is happening, and if needed, change the direction of the path in which we're traveling. It's time to look closely at changing your dreaming and journey in an alternative direction. You have been walking this well-worn track for too long. And nothing has changed. But nothing has improved either. Change the direction of your dreaming and experience life on a different track. You will be amazed at the emotional and spiritual growth you will experience on your new journey into your future. Okay, that might actually just totally clarify everything right there. And we have a future card. And that's everything that's showing in these cards. That's everything. The spiritual exhaustion of it's not there, what you thought was the universe, was God, or whatever part of that resonates with you, whatever you were holding on to, it's done. And she is intervening. There is a gift coming through, a revelation being offered. It is very exciting, and it won't seem exciting. Do I have room? Yeah, camera cut off. But they have to be like a gazillion times better than the person who set this game in play. So much symmetry here. Okay, integrity. Future energy. Aboriginal ancestral wisdom. Finding respect and integrity in yourself will make you the person other people strive to be. The ancestors want you to be your very best. So become the role model everyone looks up to. The start of this process is honoring yourself. The truest way to honor the gift of life we were given is to become the best we can be. Our interactions on this earth provide us with the opportunity to embrace our humanness and learn from our experiences. By honoring ourselves, we then open ourselves to the wonderful journeys this life has to offer. And I don't argue with that. How could I? Integrity. So honor yourself. One thing I did on my journey, if this is any help at all, is I decided what I found acceptable as good and what I deemed to belong to evil. What my idea of a good God was. I just started from my own sense of morality, my own sense of ethics. And then I can't say that I looked to make things conform to that, because that's not scientific and that's not real. But actually what happened is that my mind opened more. Once I came up with specifics, I was clearing my own thinking and my own ability to perceive. So if that's any help, which is exactly what I'm looking at in the cards here, is that that's exactly the point. Okay, so just for the sake of this is the most intriguing one. I'm gonna go through these just to surprise myself. I'll start with the cockatiel. I almost have this one memorized now. Soulful burdens. And I work with a cockatiel every Tuesday. And when they scream, if you've never heard them scream and never heard them freak out, and they're easily stressed, it's like nothing, it's like no other scream except maybe a dying rabbit. Many thousands of years ago, the cockatoo did not have wings. He did not have wings. I don't know why, but he didn't. He was so noisy, he would squawk and cry and carry on all day and all night. All the animals would ask him to be quiet. But no, he would just keep on going, on and on and on. This was becoming distressing for the other animals, as they couldn't sleep at night because of his noise, and couldn't hunt during the day because he scared off all the animals. One of the animals came up with a plan. They all gathered around the noisy cockatoo and gave him a set of wings. Immediately he took off in flight, and as he took to the sky, the other animals sighed with relief. They realized that his insistent squawking was because he was bored and frustrated at never being able to see the world. From this point onwards, all the... I have room left, yeah, okay. The camera's just wanting to cut out a lot. Take stock of the situation and choose your battles more carefully. You don't have to win them all. You just have to decide which battles are important enough to put your energy into. I just don't even feel like I need to explain that. And I might as well not, for time's sake. Internal strength. Ah, yes, the 42. Answer to life, the universe, and everything. Thank you, Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The answer is 42. Ah, yes, the baby wombat. Often dawdled behind, always being distracted by one thing or another. One day, as usual, he was slowly meandering his way through the bush, not making much effort to keep up with his mum, when a strong wind came and blew down a massive tree which blocked his way and separated him from his mother. He cried for his mother, but all they could do was yell across the large expanse of the tree, which separated them from each other. The little wombat was so determined that he began to dig. He was good at digging and knew this was his only way of getting to his mum. As fast as he would dig, big rocks would block his way. However, through his determination, he would just start digging in a different direction. For days, he dug, still calling to his mother to make sure she hadn't left him. Eventually, He dug an entire tunnel and was reunited with his mother on the other side. From this day forward, he no longer dawdled and always kept his mom in sight. Find your inner strength, believe in yourself, and work through the situation. Sometimes you do not realize how much power you have, and if you're not careful, you can end up destroying everything in your path. Look at alternatives around this issue. They're there if you just look at other ways to solve the problem. Well, just like the cockatiel needs his wings. Turning over a new page. These fives are necessary. I need to say that. They're necessary. They're necessary. It's change. It's inevitable. It's inevitable because things have to be, you have to stick up for what you think is right, even if you're wrong. But based on where you're at and how you see things and how you understand things, we get caught in moments, but all we have to, we have to own what we do. And sometimes it means causing harm, but the harm it's down to whether or not you think it's all supposed to be a good world and it's all supposed to be easy, or if there is actually just a ton of crap, right? And therefore, hard things have to be done in spite of the world because we're up against it. We can be moral we can be ethical. We need to figure out how to be ethical, do ethical things in an unethical universe. It's, even if there were just science, we're here spiritually, so we've already decided we're here because we know that there is divine working with us. Now, for me, that divine is under the gun from evil. Either way, that's a whole other, these things have to be decided. And I might be in this Five of Swords with you, reverse, right? This other person might see it one way and you see it the other way. And there has to be time to go off and settle that and not necessarily agree. So that five matters. It just matters. People don't like it, but readers don't like it. It matters. It's part of the process. Okay, on to the next. Hang on. Okay, Taurus. I went actually life inspired. I went actually and had a dream. I'm back right now. Interesting thing happened. And I ended up in the right place at the right time delivering a Christmas present to a client. And the guy came to my bus stop and was distressed and needed bus fare. And he was on his way up to deliver Christmas presents to the girlfriend he was breaking up with, and that he'd already bought them for her, and that's what he does. He doesn't intend gifts for anybody else other than who he bought them for. And he's not a grudging guy. And she has a 9-year-old boy, and it's hard on the boy, and they've been together 2 years, and so God needed to reach out and touch him and make sure that I was there for that. So that was, and then I did have a dream, something to do with the Finders, if you've heard about them at all. CIA, child trafficking. not good guys. And something was shown to me, and I don't know if the minders are like another group, but I'll be looking into that. So this whole dreaming thing, it probably, if nothing else, it got my mind going. But it was one of those lucid dreams, and hard to fake those. Seasons change. I need to read this one, don't I? In the dream time, the young black swan spent many hours a day preening himself to ensure that his handsome black feathers were shiny and bright. All the other swans thought him vain and had no time for him, so his life was somewhat lonely. After being mocked by his family and friends, he decided to go walk about and travel the land. On his travels, he met a duckling. She was still growing and was at an awkward stage and hadn't yet developed into a swan. She fell in love with the handsome swan, but her feelings were not reciprocated, as he had ideas of having a mate that was as beautiful as him. He went on his way, leaving her behind with a broken heart. A year later, the handsome swan returned to find the most beautiful swan he'd ever seen, floating aimlessly on the pond. He realized this was the duckling from last year, and she'd indeed grown into a beautiful swan, but had also found herself a new mate. This time it was he who left the pond with a broken heart, realizing that his vanity had cost him the love of this beautiful swan. He was never able to find another partner for the rest of his life. As we grow, our relationships change. Damn. Okay, got it, bus stop. Yep. And we need to adapt to the change or risk being left behind or even losing them. It's not always easy. If change is what your relationships need right now, then consider the challenge as an investment in your future, remembering that sometimes leaving a relationship may be the challenge you have to face. Whether you stay or go, if you integrate some changes now, it may avert heartache later. Yeah, that's just it. And the thing he was saying, and I was saying to him, and it was not just God needing to reach out and touch, it was affirming. He was like, I'm doing the right thing. And I was like, yeah. Then you have to know through all of this you're doing the right thing, especially this, nothing like a chance encounter of me. It's everything attached to my clients is never chance. But when I go, I knew I was on a spirit walk. It was a day where I had the whole day to decide to go up there, and so of the whole day, it's been two days since I started this reading. And then yesterday was a cleaning day for me. So it was 2 days ago. Was it? Yeah. Can I even think straight? It was Monday. What's today? Wednesday. Yes. And right now, I would normally be up cleaning, but we've had a huge blizzard and it's -40 with the wind chill. And so I'm here instead finishing a reading while I have the chance. And the seasons changed because it was a blizzard. Yes. Okay, message complete. This, I'm laughing, but I understand. Again, sense of humor, though, it means perspective. So if you are even at the point where you don't have your sense of humor, you've lost it, then you know that's the first thing you've got to get back. You need to recover, possibly your mojo, possibly the spark. All of that needs rescuing right now, and that's why this is happening. Because if it were to go on this way, if you were left alone to stay, both of you, any of you, to stay as you are, it could go beyond the point of repair. Okay, Taurus? Much love. Back soon.